It's Tuesday, November 7th. It's the day to get out and vote. Not a presidential election, not a gubernatorial election, but some of the smaller races, certainly. And it is just beautiful outside. Rise and shine, 8:01 now. I'm WESH 2 first morning meteorologist Eric Burris. This is Coffee Talk. We get together 7 days a week, chat about what's doing about the world of weather. And there you go. A lovely shot over Daytona Beach, our Tower Cam network. Looking pretty good. Some high, thin clouds over top of us, but nothing too bad. First morning live Doppler radar with the interference, of course. Well, I'm going to have to work on that. That's all right. That's all right. Anyway, we are also watching a few light showers off the shoreline there. You can see them. We'll lapse this, and you kind of see those showers around. Not really bothering us too much, so not a bad start to the day. 66 degrees in Orlando. Man, this feels good. 59 in Leesburg. 57 degrees in the Villages. And that's just the air temperature, right? Like the air temperature is fantastic across Central Florida. But that's only one piece of the puzzle. Look at the dew point temperatures in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. These dew point temperatures have been and will continue to be just awesome. Just awesome. So where do we go today? Let's chat about our voting day, election day. Not too bad. 70 degrees, 9 o'clock. We're going to be on our way. Yeah. 80 degrees by lunchtime. 84 degrees by 3 o'clock this afternoon. So looks pretty good. And with that, I will raise my cup, offer up a Campeche. Let's do this thing. Good morning to you. How are you? Let's see here. Karen, good morning to you. Wendy, good morning. Good morning. Rosemary, good morning. How are you? Larissa, Mike, good morning. Terry, Chris Pierce, David, Debbie, in on the drink thing. I like it. I like it. So where do we go from here? Obviously, it's going to be a beautiful forecast today. What about neighborhood by neighborhood, right? 84 degrees in Orlando does it. 82 degrees in DeLand. 81 degrees for us, Daytona Beach. 78 out on New Smyrna Beach, and out west, just a little bit warmer. Karen, good morning. Hi, Karen. How are you? TJ, good morning. Happy to catch Coffee Top. Just sipped my coffee as well. Let's do it together, right? It's a good day to sip that coffee. So temperature's definitely a little warmer today. And, you know, this is kind of the start of a trend. If we look at the trend over the next several days' time, I'll find it. Give me a minute. If we look at the trend over the next several days' time, you'll notice that these temperatures are going to continue to climb. 87 by Friday, as a matter of fact. So it's going to be getting a little warmer next couple of days. Yeah. Now, to put that into perspective, in case you're curious, that 87 on Friday gets close to a record. 90 degrees is the record on Friday. So we're going to be in the ballpark in Orlando, and some of our other stations will be in the ballpark as well. But, today's forecast, not too bad. We look at Friday, and it's not bad, but it's definitely more like pool weather, we'll say, than some other days, right? 87 in Ocala, Orlando, Sanford. 88 degrees in the Villages, 88 degrees in Wildwood. So there's that. There's that. Yeah, along the shoreline, at least it's going to be a little bit milder. We'll be at 83 Daytona Beach, about 84 degrees in Melbourne. So not too bad. Not too bad. Everybody enjoying today? I hope so. Everybody enjoying our beautiful morning. Leaving on yet another business trip shortly. People think it's glamorous, but it gets old real quick. For sure. If you're traveling out of Orlando International Airport, just throwing this out there, Mike. Most every flight is on time. Everything's looking pretty good. Only 2 delays currently and 1 cancellation. Oh, that's going to be toasty for the dog shows. There's a lot of events going on around town. There's the Space Game out at UCF on Saturday, and this one is going to be interesting to watch. The Knights welcoming the Oklahoma State Cowboys. You know, for a guy who, like, if I look at the UCF 2002 football, like if I look at the UCF 2002 football schedule, okay, that was the year that I started the UCF thing, right? Like, let's look at the teams that we played, okay? 2002 football. All right. Penn State. I went to that game. Lost. At Arizona State. I did not go to that game. At Marshall. I went to that game. Like, I got to go to 2 away games that year. We lost to Marshall. Liberty. I was at that game. Western Michigan. That's at Western Michigan. I was not at that game. Toledo, Akron, Syracuse, Kent State, and Ohio, Miami of Ohio. Like, when I look at what UCF football was like when I started, you know, our out-of-conference games were Arizona State, Penn State, you know. But, like, Liberty, Western Michigan, Toledo, Akron, Syracuse, Buffalo, Kent State, Miami of Ohio, and Ohio. To see that, and then to see we're playing Oklahoma State. We played Oklahoma a bit ago. Like, when I see that and think about it, it's just like, wow. Wow. That's cool. Like, how this team has grown is so amazing. And anybody that's a UCF fan, you can share. Now, if you're a Gator fan, if you're an FSU fan, if you're a Miami fan, y'all have been on the big stage a long time. It's just cool for a person who's been around for so long to see this. So anyway, looks like a great forecast for the game. We'll be out there tailgating at the alumni tailgate. I'll be drinking the water because I don't drink adult beverages, but I'll be out enjoying. And if you're there, would love to say hi to you. 83, 86 for kickoff. It's going to be warm. I'm going to have my big dad hat on just to kind of try and stay comfortable. Either way, we'll get the other game forecasts, by the way, put together for you today. I'll get that taken care of when I'm in the weather center. Frank, my brother, says, I know, it's like I remember when USF and UCF didn't have football. Being that you're the much older brother, yes. But also, you're right. Like, these programs are little babies. Mike says, I'll drink the beer for you. Do it. That's what I tell all my friends to do. There's also a rocket launch tonight. They're targeting 11:01. 95% chance of good weather. I will not be awake for that. Sorry about that. But if you are, it'll be very cool. Justine says, I'll be there too, coming down from Michigan to see my son march. Justine, do it. I wish you were there for the alumni game. I was with the band. That's okay. That'll be a lot of fun, Justine. If you see me, we're going to be, I do the weather forecast pregame just before the band does pregame. So I'll be down near the band at, I think it's like section 103 on the field. Anyway, if you see me, say hi. Brian says, I was around UCF in their early football program days and remember their pledge to build a major program they're doing. Isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy? I don't know. I love this stuff. I also love this time of year because genuinely there's so many great activities to be outside and to enjoy. There's the Space Coast State Fair, for example. Next couple of days looking fantastic. Today, no exception to that. If you're heading out to the attractions, Universal Studios, man, opens up in about 50 or so minutes. I'd say that's good. Clear evening, gorgeous weather. That's another early sunset. Heading out to Disney, just a reminder, they're all decked out for Christmas. So there you go. Carol says USF will miss playing UCF this Thanksgiving since I'm a home divided. I mean, I personally would have loved to see that continue. It's out of conference. I personally would have loved to see that. Amy says, my boyfriend covers the rocket launches for the Orlando Sentinel. All the kids are sick in the house, so I hope he's okay at 11. Oh, boy. Yeah. Also, I wonder if I've ever run into him covering the launches. I mean, I'm not doing a Starlink, but like the bigger launches, Wesh sends me out with the Weather Lab. I wonder if I've ever run into your boyfriend. I always, though, Carol, going back to that, I always enjoyed the UCF-USF games. Didn't matter which was the better team. It was always a hell of a battle out there. And it was so fun. It was a heck of a rivalry, and I'm sad that it's gone. I hope that one of these days the athletic directors can put it back together. Mike says, nothing like 90-degree Christmas at Disney. I mean, it's not going to be 90, but it's not going to be 30 either, you know? It's going to be 82. It looks gorgeous. But Christmas is out. It's going to be lovely. Denise says we're a house divided, but also Gators in Georgia. Hubby's a bull. Oh my God, that's so funny. Diane says the war on I-4, so sad it's gone. It's going to come back. At some point, I think it has to. Carol says yes, and the bands loved playing together. So I was there. What year was that? Was that 2004? 2004. UCF football. When was the first UCF USF game? Was it 04? No. Was it 2005? UCF 2000. Was it 2005? Yeah, maybe it was 2005. Where? Yeah. So that would have been it. Yeah. It would have been 2005. Yeah, 2005. So I was there for the first UCF USF game. That was fun. September 17th, 2005. Crazy. Crazy. Disney passes are so expensive. They are. They are. Mickey says 87 on Friday, hoping it's a warm up before a cold front. Well, let's take a look, okay? So a couple things. We do have a cold front scheduled to move in, all right? Let's talk about it. We do peak out at 87 on Friday, and then by Monday, 78 for a high. So, yeah, we've got some moving. Let's look at the raw GFS numbers. Here's the raw GFS numbers. And you'll see it getting warmer Friday, Saturday. The GFS is even going toasty warm on Saturday. And then Sunday, Monday, too. You kind of see those temperatures starting to dip a little bit down. The morning lows are staying comfortable, at least at the moment. I would think that the GFS needs to figure itself out a little bit because you're not going to see 74 for a high and 69 for a low. So we're going to have to, the model's going to have to recalibrate a little bit. But it'll get there. It'll get there. I have not gotten a new hub for my Tempest yet. No. Not yet. I'm stupid cheap. Like, it's not that I'm cheap. If I don't need it, I haven't paid for it. And so that's the thing. Yep. How's that transition looking on Sunday? Storms possible. So we can definitely look at the models a little bit. The GFS stays drunk. I know. And speaking of the GFS, as I pull up the Euro, speaking of the GFS, we also are going to be reviewing tropical GFS stuff on today's Tracking the Tropics. Laura says you're frugal. I wouldn't even say I'm frugal. It's just one of those things that, if I need it, I get it. If I want it, I get it. But the hub, it's just been on the back burner, and I just need to do the darn thing. Yep. Nobody said I'm smart. Nobody said I'm good looking. I'm an imperfect person. Yeah. All right. To the tropics we go, and then we'll look at some model data stuff. Out there right now, kind of a nice little upper level low out near Bermuda. Some stuff down around the open Atlantic, but there is no tropical development expected in the next 7 days' time. Unlike Eric, apparently the GFS does do adult beverages. Yeah. Kind of, sort of, right? 23 days until the end of hurricane season. So we still have plenty of time to track. And yes, that means we're going to also be doing our Tracking the Tropics. So today at 10, WJCL Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Nelson and I will be doing that thing, talking about the models and all that fun stuff. All right. Let's take a look at some model data. And see. Boy, the GFS wants to throw something together in the Caribbean around mid-November. There's a decent cold front. That, what's funny too is that's Wednesday the 22nd. So that's a cold front that's timed out just like the BSR had it. Maybe it's a day or two later, but like I said, probably going to have a really beautiful Thanksgiving. Now, according to the GFS, the front would be a little slower, so that's that. But let's do this. Let's switch over to, and let's do All right. So this is rain. This is like the future cast that you'd see on TV, except it's the GFS. So a couple of showers Friday morning. And then there's that front coming in. So there's some showers Monday, like afternoon, early afternoon. And then it clears out. 564 thickness. It's not getting cool. And then there's a decent front. Yep, that's Tuesday into Wednesday. Now that times out almost perfectly with what the BSR showed. See, that's why I just look and I'm just like, that's crazy. Because that's perfectly timed out for the BSR. You know? Isn't that wild? You're handsome. You're fun to watch. And I like you just the way you are. Thank you, Robin. So sweet. Mike says, say this to my girls a lot. You're imperfect, which is what makes you perfect. Honest to God, that's my like kind of feeling about life. You know, perfection in imperfection. Look, I'm not going to be perfect for anybody. Not even for me. But that's just kind of what I am. And that's what makes me me. And you either love it or you don't. And that's okay. I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea. You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea either. But to those that love you, they're going to love the heck out of you. You know? I love that. Anything from the Bay of Campeche? I think there is a little something. If you don't know, we drink coffee when we say the word Campeche together. It's an inside joke. Mickey's asking, any severe weather risk upcoming soon? So interestingly enough, so the 10th of October, we had a little storm system. And, you know, maybe around the 25th, we see a storm system. It'll be interesting to see. But there's a decent little front like the couple of days before Thanksgiving on the GFS long range. That lines up with what the BSR had. So it'll be interesting to see. Now, as far as temperatures go... It's way out there, of course. But, like, let's just look. You know, that's Wednesday at 1 p.m. You know, that, I mean, if that plays out, that could be fun. Maximum temperature in the 60s for the day before Thanksgiving. And then the morning of Thanksgiving, we could be talking about 40s. Like, that looks pretty good to me. And then we start climbing those temperatures up on Thanksgiving, which is what the BSR said. Yeah. Carol says, you can't make everyone happy. You aren't Nutella. Girlfriends shout that from the rooftop. I love Nutella. God. Coffee, is that what I'm supposed to be doing? I know, right? Well, to each their own. I'm not going to judge you if you go a different direction. As I'm joking. Ann says we'll be getting off a cruise ship with temps in the 40s. Nothing wrong with that. Mike says you look like the young version of the old man from the movie Up. I'm curmudgeon-y like he is, so works for me. Yeah. All right. Any questions? Jamie's asking, are we doing Tracking the Tropics Tuesday? We are. We are. Yep. We are. Yep. Any questions, comments, concerns? Anything? Anybody? I love that movie. I've only seen little bits and pieces of it. It's beautiful, though. All right, friends. So here we go. Gorgeous weather today, but it's going to be a little warmer. 84 degrees. Next couple of days looking fantastic. Friday we get warm. Saturday we get warm. And then a few showers around. I would venture to say that we'll probably have to up those rain chances late this weekend into early next week. For those of you that celebrate, and I highly encourage us to, you know, whatever you're doing this weekend, find some time to think about those that have served. Remember, Memorial Day is the day to remember those that have given all. Veterans Day, which is coming up, is a day to think about those that have served our country. Okay? Very, very important distinction. And please take some time to thank those in our lives that have served, that are serving. Thank those family members that are supporting their families while their loved ones are away serving. I thank all of you veterans, all of you that are family members of veterans or family members of active duty. Chris Pierce, I'm looking at you, my friend. And so many more in this little group. So Veterans Day, Saturday, please, please, please remember that the freedoms that we enjoy and somewhat can and will take for granted are because of those that have fought so hard. So please, always remember those. Please do. All right. Veterans Day, by the way, looking beautiful as we celebrate those that really do fight for our country, fight for our freedoms. And today as well, being election day, it may not be the presidential one, but it's election day. And today's another one of those opportunities that we get to do things because of all of that, you know? So that's where we're at. All right. Questions, comments, concerns, anybody? Nice, quiet weather. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. Every year we go to Waffle House and look around for someone wearing an Armed Forces hat and buy their breakfast. Mike, heck yeah, buddy. Campeche to you. Aaron says, I feel El Nino will keep winter interesting for Central and South Florida. I think you're right. Next Wednesday, of course I'm off, but I'm not. The National Weather Service office in Melbourne, which is one of our local National Weather Service offices, they're holding a meeting to go over El Nino, to go over patterns and all this. And so even though I'm off, probably going to go to that thing. So Tony called me. Well, we talk every day at like 9 a.m. That's just our standing date. And he's like, hey, bada bing, you wanna carpool to that thing? And so it's like, yeah, we're probably gonna do that. Yep. So there it is. All right. Any questions, comments, concerns, anything? It'll be a fun nerd meeting. They always are. Rosemary says, my son is Navy intelligence, being the eyes on the ground for the Air Force. I love that. I love that. Yeah. I love Tony and his bada bing. I do too. He's my knucklehead. All right, people, so enjoy. But today, it's getting warm, 84. Yup. We'll be chatting all about the tropics. It may be quiet now, but we'll go do a deep dive in on what the models are saying and all this fun stuff, and talk a little bit about long-range stuff as well when we see you coming up at 10 a.m. on Tracking the Tropics. Sound good? Sound good. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. I'll see y'all at 10 o'clock. Take care. Bye.